The Kia Stinger GT provides performance driving and good daily usability in a very attractive fastback sedan body style, but you're not really going to see too many fuel economy benefits over a comparable SUV, according to the EPA. But how does that translate into real-world figures? Today we're going to find out. In today's test, we're going to head out and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour to get you a realistic highway cruising number for this Kia Stinger GT. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Now, despite some of the Stinger's flaws, and it's not really a flaw, if you will, it's just the fact that no one's really buying sedans anymore, it does have a lot of cool stuff to offer. It looks great, it's fun to drive, it's powerful, it's usable. It's got a neat design, and it's just unique. There's not going to be very many of them on the road. If you do want to see more on the Stinger, check the links in the description. We've got a DM test drive, we've got a sound system review of its Harman Kardon audio system. Lots of good coverage on the Stinger. Links to those will be in the description. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives this Stinger 24 miles per gallon, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. This is the turning radius on the Stinger. Not fantastic. Don't feel like curbing a wheel. We know there are people who like to take their vehicles on long road trips and would like to know what sort of numbers they can realistically expect here in the real world. In order to do that, we're going to head over to the gas station here, fill up, go out and do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. A few things to note for today. Outside temperature is a balmy 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Tire pressures have been set to their door placard tire pressure. I'll have to double check what that is on the side here. And we're going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. Now, yes, this might run the condenser, use a little bit of extra fuel, but that's how people will travel in the real world, and without it, we would freeze. Pull on up here and get this thing topped off. 38 PSI front, 36 PSI rear. Shout out to Nathan for filling those tires up. We are going to be running premium fuel here in the Stinger, even though it doesn't say anything about it on the gas cap. 5.798 gallons going in for our first fill. Before we actually start the engine, we're going to reset our GPS and our trip computer, and we're ready to begin. A few different drive modes here in the Stinger GT. You've got Smart, Eco, Comfort, and Sport, and Custom. We're going to be running this test in Eco. We're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway. It's about half a mile away. Pick up the test from there. The goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy numbers, but rather a realistic number for this car. In order to do that, we're going to get up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace and set our cruise control at a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour. That should allow us to average 70 over the whole test. Let's see if this Jetta gets up and going. Obviously, we have no problem getting up to speed here, and plenty of torque to propel us up this hill. Looks like speedometer is decently accurate, maybe about 1 mile per hour off. So let's settle in at 73. Kias and Hyundais have really good, it's almost semi-autonomous driving, where once the car recognizes the lanes, it'll just center you and drive you right along. It's quite nice. Getting up to highway speed here, looks like our revs settling in pretty low. Nice, about 1700 RPM. Wind noise not too bad. Tire noise not too bad either. Just a little bit of engine drone, but we are going uphill. Alright, so we're going to continue on with the rest of the test, catch up with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Stinger GT. Well, we're doing a little bit better than EPA, so that's something at least. 26 MPG according to the car's trip computer, 2 better than what we were estimated to get. We'll confirm the accuracy of that once we get back to the pump and fill it up. Other than that, this thing cruises well on the highway just as you would expect from most sedans. I mean, that's what large pseudo-luxury sedans like this do well, is highway cruising. This one's no different. It's nice that you have a lot of different seat adjustments. You can adjust the thigh length, you got 4-way lumbar, lots of good things there. Another thing that surprised me is the Harman Kardon sound system. It actually sounds quite good. We did a dedicated review. I'll throw the link up in the description for that, but that's pretty impressive. Other than that, I again appreciate the active lane keeping. I mean, look at this, it just kind of takes it right around the corner for me. Noise has been pretty good. I think I would expect a little bit quieter at this price point, but again, we're talking about a fully loaded model here. Yeah, not a bad place to be at all. And like I said, we're cruising pretty low RPMs, which is nice to see. So we're gonna get back to the pump, fill up, and see what sort of calculated number we get. 3.893 gallons going in for our final fill. 102.2 divided by 3.893 is given us, look at that, 26.25 miles per gallon, rounding down to 26. Still 2 miles per gallon better than EPA, both according to the car's trip computer and to our fill-up. That's pretty good in this situation. I mean, yeah, it's definitely warmer than we have been testing, but still cold temperatures and presumably winter blend fuel. That is one of the advantages of driving a performance sedan over a performance SUV, is the faster you go on the highway. I mean, really, any sedan versus any SUV, but the faster you go on the highway, because air resistance is exponential, you're going to see less of a dramatic impact on your fuel economy by going faster in a sedan than you are in an SUV. We've got a 15.9 gallon fuel tank in here, so 15.9 times 26 miles per gallon is giving you an effective highway cruising range of 410 miles here in the 2022 Kia Stinger GT all-wheel drive. I never mentioned the all-wheel drive aspect. So thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you found that useful if you're thinking about buying a Stinger. If you want to see more on the Stinger, check the links in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.